Alright, hey guys, today what we're going to be doing is something totally different and unique in the sense of, well, I'm going to be showing you guys the best draft strategy in fantasy football. I was finally able to win my league last year, and honestly, right now, I am feeling really, really good. Ignore the bottom name. But we're going to be doing probably let's see here, what do we have? Some options. Probably a 12 team PPR, so I do want a points per reception. Um, why are all the ones beginners right now? That's crazy. Protein. Okay, so we have a pro 12 team head-to-head points per reception mock waiting room of 10 minutes. I'm gonna cut this out. Just don't even worry about that, you guys. I'm still new to the face cam thing, so I was kind of looking at my recording equipment, my OBS instead of the face cam. But honestly, we're gonna be picking at the number 7 spot, so we're right bang diddly squat in the middle of this draft, and I'm gonna show you guys players that I really like this season and the strategy that I'm going to be using in a PPR league. So again, if any of my league mates end up watching this just to be an asshole or a bitch or a dick or whatever, it's all good, because skill and talent will beat someone who's cheating any day of the week. Not even worried about it. So not even going to look at pre-draft rankings. I'm just going to go off the fly, off the research I've done prior. So hope you guys enjoy that aspect of it, and if you end up picking somewhere between the 5 and 8 range in your draft, this might be a good guide for you if you are a PPR league, if you do have about 12 teams in your league. So yeah, something to keep in mind. So anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling on like a little bitch boy, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let the draft speak for itself. Have some nice little music playing in the background, because I'm gonna turn the sound off, because the sound in the drafts is so annoying. And yeah, that's pretty much it. My hair's in my eyes, and I'm ready to fucking do this. Let's go. This is actually the first video I'm technically recording with the face cam, even though I wanted it to be the Walking Dead series, but now it's gonna be the Welcome to the Family video. It's a whole mess. Yeah, go ahead and skip to the draft. I'm not very smart right now. I am running on an hour of sleep, so let's do this. Time to show you guys with very little sleep exactly how you should be drafting in your leagues, if you want to win, at least. Take it from an actual league winner. So yeah, edit that down to whatever you like. Anyways, yeah, it's a whole mess of things I'm going to be doing. I got so many videos and stuff, and dealing with a baby that is just about 2 weeks old now. And don't get me wrong, he's a blessing on this world. We're so happy. We love him to death. But it's like sometimes you just, it's a newborn, right? Babies are, oh, they're so adorable, they're so cute. And then it's like, God, it's 3 a.m. It won't shut up. Okay. I don't know what to do. You've done literally everything on the checklist. And it's like mind-boggling. But, still working on the grind, still went ahead and bought myself this sexy brand new headset, you see right here, right? And then also the face cam, which you're watching me through for the third time ever. I'm not exactly sure what order these are going up in, because I'm just kind of recording and editing as I can right now, because everything is a jumbled mess and there's no real set schedule. So, and thankfully I am able to focus on this, which I want to make my career, obviously, as a content creator. But yeah, it's just because I'm on paternity leave for work, and like I said, thank God, I'm just trying everything I can. So first video with this is going to introduce my family, so to speak. So you see my girl, my baby, other, right? All that stuff. Yeah, so I don't know, man, I couldn't be more excited for it. But this is football draft, so let's focus on football things. I have a You can see it. Guitar shirt. I wore this to my junior high graduation when everyone else wore dresses and tuxes, so yeah, the fact that it still fits. I mean, it's a little tighter than it used to be, but the fact that it still fits, right? Yeah. Anyways, cut all this out. It's worthless information. Skip ahead. I'll have a link timestamp in the description, maybe the comments, whatever. Enjoy the fucking video. Honestly, just enjoy it. Take what you can from it. Don't just copy and paste, but you know, use your own study it. What the fuck is wrong with you? Use your own information that you've studied prior and combine it with the new information I'm going to give you and draft players and use a draft strategy based on what you personally like, your personal preference. That's what I wanted to say. Okay. Anyways, other than that, just under 3 minutes. See you guys in a second. Alright, I'm gonna stop messing around with the settings now because I don't want to fuck something up while I'm trying to record. Because this is the first video I'm hard recording with the face cam. So I still don't know how it's all gonna work, or if it's going to be the proper settings or what. But hopefully we can make the most of it and get right into this draft. So I'm going to take you guys through the kind of pre-draft process right here as well in a second, as it takes obviously a few seconds to load. There you go, you hear my phone. Enter the draft. Obviously, you guys already know we're picking up the 7th spot in a 12-team league. Right there. All right, don't even worry about the other teams. You have your roster here. It's going to help us fill out our team as need be. You have your queue up here at top left. So like, let's say I'm really big on obviously Jonathan Taylor, then Austin Ekeler is my number 2 guy, and then I'm willing to gamble on Christian McCaffrey. We don't even need, it's gonna be here. You can queue up like what, I think up to 50 players, 50 I believe it is, before drafting. So we have just above 2 minutes before we draft. You could do that. Again, I'm gonna fly by the seat of my pants, whatever you want to call it. We're just going by whatever wings Icarus flying too close to the metaphorical sun. So we're gonna go naturally, pick 7. We'll probably have guys like, we'll have one of the top 3 receivers available, most likely. You never know, sometimes people draft really weird, and that's part of fantasy football as well. Be prepared for the unexpected. So Jonathan Taylor might not go number 1 overall, even though he should, obviously. You never know. Just always be prepared for it, and then you have to adjust accordingly because you can't get caught off guard, or else you're gonna panic, and then you're gonna be like, and you're gonna pick a random guy, and oh shit, I have Derrick Henry now instead of the Dalvin Cook or something like that. You know what? Just as an example, maybe you want Henry over Cook, but in a PPR league, obviously, it's a little different.
Describe it.
Shut the fuck up. In a PPR league, right, less than 20 receptions, coming off an injury, and then we look at, I don't know, Dalvin Cook, 34 receptions, so over 30 receptions. The bad head coach is gone, so we have to look at situation and new situation. We can't just go based off last year's stats. Dalvin Cook has a better OC, a better head coach than he's had in years past. They're going to want to get him involved in the pass game. Justin Jefferson's going to get his. Adam Thielen's going to be injured for part of the season. Dalvin Cook, if he can stay healthy, is going to be, I'd say, a top 5 back this season. So he's worth drafting where we are. It's not like he's not, despite him going at the, where does he go? Where's his ADP? He's on the front, yeah. It's like the 10 spot. I mean, to me, that's a steal, to be quite honest. I wouldn't mind him. And then Najee as well this season, right? Like, with that terrible O-line, which only improved, his quarterback became more mobile, which threats read option, right? Like, you just look at the little things like that, and you're able to adjust accordingly. But we're going to be drafting here in a second, so you could queue up your team, and then obviously if you need to go do something, take care of an emergency, whoever is next in your queue will get auto-drafted for you if the time runs out. God damn it, I forgot to turn the sound off. I hate that noise. I hate all the sounds this freaking app does. And Jonathan Taylor goes number 1 overall, and then obviously you see the picks here, and then they're going to disappear from here as well. So again, you guys don't need me to tell you that. You just need me to tell you. We're going to go probably most likely running back heavy early. Ekeler goes 4. God, I would have loved to be in the 4 spot for that Ekeler. I'm super high on this year personally. But if you can't get Ekeler, just try to get Keenan Allen right there. Williams. You want a piece of that Chargers offense. So Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, all 3 receivers go. We still have, so because all 3 of the top guys went, we're just going to look at running backs. Not even going to fuck with you. We're going running back heavy to start. Probably running back first 2 rounds, but we'll see. We'll see how the board falls. I'm not going to stay married to that strategy if I see a receiver in the next round and I'm like, how the hell is Deebo Samuel still available at pick 18 or Devontae Adams, right? If he's there, I'm going to take it. Anyways, let's go to running back specific. So we're just here. Okay, it's down for 3 guys. Dalvin Cook, Najee Harris, or Derrick Henry. If you want to look at ADP, Derrick Henry's the most value. We have the under 10 seconds. Again, I'm not going to panic. We're in a PPR league. And I'm going to tell you what. I really like Najee Harris this year. I really do. I'm not going to go Derrick Henry. He'll go right after me. And he's not a bad pick. But hear me out. The Titans got a good run blocking tight end in the offseason. That's really it, you know? They traded their best receiver, drafted a rookie receiver. Those boxes are going to be loaded. We're in a PPR league. We know Derrick Henry isn't going to have a super high points type of floor where he's getting 3, 4, 5 targets a game. No, he's going to get 1 target, 2 targets a game, 0 most games. That's just how that's going to fall. I would live here in the all positions for your queue as well, unless you specifically need a certain position. You're like, okay, I really want to look at receivers. But I just kind of like to look at, like, you know, the whole list in front of me. Because I don't mind if you like Keenan Allen more than you like Tyreek Hill, but Tyreek Hill's 17 and Keenan Allen's 25. Draft Keenan Allen. Don't listen to the pre-draft rankings. It's your money, it's your gambling, it's your destiny, it's your team, right? So don't do anything where you're like, okay, I'm drafting this guy because it's consensus. Don't be a slave to the rankings. You have to kind of make your own. Who are you high on? Who are you low on? And why? The why is very important. Okay, so let's look. I haven't even been paying attention. Saquon Barkley, DeAndre Swift, CeeDee Lamb, they are off the board. So here are some guys that are on the board. Honestly, for me, this isn't even close. I already know exactly who I want and why. I'm gonna draft Leonard Fournette, obviously. James Conner is in contention, and Aaron Jones, specifically because Aaron Rodgers isn't going to like throwing to those receivers. Aaron Jones is going to have so much passing upside this year. I cannot wait for that. James Conner, he has passing upside as well. And we're in a PPR league. Leonard Fournette, no more Rob Gronkowski. He's going to get more goal line carries. The other running backs out of town. I love Leonard Fournette this season. I'm going to go with him here. But James Conner, Aaron Jones, you could have also justified taking at that spot. Although you could wait a little bit on him. If we're lucky, it's not going to happen, but if we're extremely lucky, he'll fall to us. One of them, they won't. But if we are, they will. If not, not a big deal, guys. We're going to go ahead and draft our receiver, and getting Keenan Allen in the 3rd round is nothing to scoff at. And if not him, I know he's questionable right now. Oh my God. I know he's questionable right now, but the fact that Chris Godwin coming off a torn ACL, Rob Gronkowski's out of town. Leonard Fournette is a chubby little boy. I know we're going to get 2 players from the same team. Obviously, in this situation, I'd prefer Keenan Allen simply because I don't want 2 guys on the same team on my roster. Oh my God, let me fix my hair. Okay, typically speaking, just got to get it out of my eyes. But we're probably not going to get either. You know what I mean? Like, Aaron Jones is off. Mark Andrews, the best tight end this year's off. You know, and there's James Conner off. So we miss out on the running. We knew that was going to happen. We're going to miss out on the receiver. So if we do want to go receiver here, Mike Evans is an option. I actually like Michael Pittman Jr. a lot this year. Oh my God. We're going to mute it. Did that work? Damn it, it didn't. Okay. I also like Michael Pittman Jr. a lot this year because, well, he's got a new quarterback, and that's Matty Ice, obviously, which I do believe is an upgrade over Carson Wentz. I really do. And he's going to be the #1 receiver in that offense. So when it's not Jonathan Taylor, who we don't have in our team, it's Michael Pittman. And we got to hope for the Michael Pittman weeks or a Jonathan Taylor injury, and then we're hyper-targeting Pittman because those other receivers, they ain't it. They ain't it. Matty Ice is going to hyper-focus, hyper-lock on him. And I think he's going to have some touchdown upside as well, man, because, damn it, I did that. Because he didn't have any touchdowns last season, but we have to look at the balance, the shift of balances. He had none last season. It can only get better, right? And if he keeps up the same receptions and receiving yards, add 6 touchdowns, we got a steal. We got an absolute steal. So again, we're gonna go to all positions, live in this range. Michael Pittman's coming up. Keenan Allen off the board. Yes, he is. It's taken a little while here for them to kind of show us where they're going and all that. But that's okay. We're not upset about it. We're just thinking, how do we adjust properly? Okay, T. Higgins to get more. So again, we could go Mike Evans here, which I wouldn't hate, or Michael Pittman, which I also wouldn't hate. I can justify either one depending on if you're really worried about Mike Evans being able to stay on the field. You can look at running back. I'm just no on David, no on JK. Not really a huge fan of rookie running backs, typically, unless there's Najee Harris is an exception, right? I don't love the running backs. I already have to. I'm gonna stick with receiver here. Jalen Waddle has competition in that offense. I don't love that right now. That's why I'm shying away from that. It's too much target share. Mike Evans, however, I think. But we already have the running back. So because we already have the running back, I'm going to go with Michael Pittman here. Mike Evans will go right after. You see how it's kind of that, okay, we got the running back from that team, so I can't really get the receiver as much as I want to. And look, you could justify it. If you think the Bucs are going to be scoring that many points where they can have a top 5 receiver and a top 5 back, go for it. Go nuts. Or top 10 even, you know, because you're getting in the 3rd round here. So, all right, we're headed to the 4th. That's fine. But I want to spread my resources. I don't want all my eggs in one basket. Tom Brady having problems at the house. What if he doesn't play? Uh-oh. Now I don't have this quarterback who loves checking down to running backs and can throw it to Mike Evans in the same breath. Now I have a rookie or a sophomore quarterback or whoever the hell their backup is who's unproven. I think it's Blaine Gabbert or not Kyle Allen. Kyle Trask, pretty sure. And I don't really want to put my fantasy eggs in those baskets. I'd much prefer one egg in that one basket, Leonard Fournette, and he's the running back. So if that happened, it might actually help his case, you could argue. So again, we're going to do that. And then Michael Pittman, who you can make an argument. Maybe you could get in the 4th. It depends on your league, to be honest. I think he's worth a 3rd round pick, or at least he will be. He was a top 20 receiver last season, as you saw there. The position rank 17. It's not bad. I think it's going to improve. I think he'll be I think he'll be like 13 overall total. But he could be top 12 if Matty Ice is able to get him the ball as much as I'm thinking in my head that he's going to be passing to him. I know Michael Pittman's got the talent. I know Matty Ice has got the talent. Now it's just about execution on the field. So I have my theory. But again, no one can truly predict the future. I can only tell you this is most likely to happen. It could happen, but it's not going to matter until you can see it. So we went running back heavy, running back, and then we went receiver. And now we're going to look at what's available. Josh Jacobs right here. Oh my God. I don't know why he's questionable, unfortunately. Wasn't spotted at practice. See, I really don't know his injury right now, so that's a little scary. But to be quite honest, if I look at the running backs other than him, I'm not super excited, to be honest. And I think that Raiders offense can be terrifying this season, and Josh Jacobs is going to be a big beneficiary of that. So I'm going to go Josh Jacobs. Now we have 3 running backs and 1 receiver. And you could argue Michael Pittman's a receiver 2 if you don't think he's a receiver 1 yet. Like they believe he's going to be a receiver 2. I think he'll be a low-end receiver 1. I really do. I said about 13th position ranking, maybe top 12. He'll get like 9, 10, 11, 12, depending on touchdown upside. But now if we strictly go to receivers, the reason I did that, look at Gabriel Davis is available down here. I love the potential outbreak. Right? Potential breakout, sorry. Allen Robinson, same thing. Last season was a down season. He's got an upgraded quarterback. Justin Fields is not nearly as talented as Matthew Stafford. And with Mitchell Trubisky at quarterback, I think Allen Robinson had a top 12 fantasy season, actually. So I'm not worried about Allen Robinson's talent. I know he can do it with a good starting quarterback, and which we know Matthew Stafford just won a Super Bowl. He clearly is that. So I'm not concerned about that at all, right? Brandon Cooks is someone I have as extremely high on my list. If he's available and I'm in the 4th or 5th, especially the 5th, oh my god, if he's available in the 5th, I'm grabbing him with everything I've got. But if I wouldn't mind taking him in the 4th. Because he's going to go early 5th, end of the 4th, as you see here, which is probably about to go in a few picks. I also love Marquise Brown this season, especially for the first 6 games. DeAndre Hopkins suspended. We know this. They say he's going to remain a fantasy receiver 3. He's already the 2nd best receiving option on the team, except for the first 6 weeks of the season, which he's the 1st best receiving option. I just don't understand how that's a receiver 3, especially with a good quarterback in Kyler Murray, despite having to take some extra time to study, as we all know through that contract. Yikes. All good though. All good. Michael Thomas, then Brandon Cooks. See, Brandon Cooks just went. That's what I would have got. But again, we're gonna go receiver here no matter what. I love Davis. I love Robinson. Wouldn't mind a Christian Kirk as a gamble, but not as my 2nd receiver. More as like a flex or a 4th. And again, you're seeing the guys go off the board here. Mitchell, Miles Sanders. Wonderful. So this for me is so easy. My highest guy on my board is Marquise Brown. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, yeah, they even say down here he's gonna benefit from the 6-game suspension early on. And if you don't know a lot about fantasy football or football in general, this is what I told my girlfriend. Just read the last sentence of the projection of the outlook and you'll kind of have an idea of what you're getting. So that's kind of a little cheat code in my opinion, but we're definitely going Marquise Brown here. I love this. Najee Harris, Leonard Fournette, Michael Pittman Jr., Marquise Brown, and Josh Jacobs. I think that's an excellent first 5 picks. Keep in mind, guys, we started at the 7th overall selection. We didn't have a top 5 pick. And we still got Najee Harris, who could be a top 3 running back, Leonard Fournette, who could be a top 5 running back, Michael Pittman, who could be a top 12 receiver, Marquise Brown, who could be a top 20 receiver, and Josh Jacobs, who could easily be more than worthy of a flex play each and every week, especially depending on the defense he's in and in that division. So much scoring, so much potential fantasy points to be had. You have to also look at that. So I don't know. I'm really excited about this roster so far. It's not my best draft ever, but again, I don't love drafting in the middle of drafts. I actually really like drafting at the number 3 or 4 spot in a draft. That's my favorite. That's kind of where I feel I'm at my best. Here's the reason I'm not even looking at quarterbacks yet. Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, Russell Wilson, Matthew Stafford, Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins. I mean, all of those guys I'd be more than happy with as my starters. Like, okay, and then tight ends. Dalton Schultz. We haven't even, Dallas Goedert, so much potential this season. He was a top 10 tight end last year, and I know they kind of got some more pieces with the trade for AJ Brown and all that, but Jalen Hurts is a quarterback who needs a safety, security, binky blanket. He needs that desperately, so I'm not overly concerned with like, oh, this tight end's going to lose all of his targets, his target share is going to go out the window. No, he's still going to get the red zone looks, in my opinion. I think that. Because Jalen Hurts last season, especially because I think this is the first season he's the starting tight end. Yeah, even though they have 2 good receivers in Devontae and AJ, like, it's all good because Dallas Goedert is that guy over the middle and the touchdown upside guy. How many touchdowns did he get last season? He had 4. Okay, I think for Michael Pittman I looked at the wrong thing. Oh, I'm an idiot. He had 6 touchdowns last season, not 0. Okay, so if that goes up to like 8 or 10, then we're talking. Again, he was his top 20 receiver. So again, still happy with the pick. I thought it was a little weird in my head that he had 0 touchdowns. Like, the best receiver on their team. Probably by a mile, too. Doesn't make any sense, but now it's starting to come together. I thought maybe Jonathan Taylor was just stealing all the touchdowns. I don't know what I thought. Ignore my idiocy because it hides well amongst the strategy, or the stratagem. If we really want it, yeah, we get Justin Herbert in a pick or 2 here. We get Lamar Jackson, whatever. Like, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna panic on quarterback. We're not gonna reach. I'm more than happy waiting an extra 3-4 rounds and getting Russell Wilson still at the end of the day with the best team and weapons he's probably ever had around him. Oh, Gabriel Davis is here? That's awesome. Oh my god. Okay, this isn't even hard. Yeah, we're gonna go Gabriel Davis. Michael Pittman, in my opinion, is a safe floor. Marquise Brown is kind of somewhere in between safe floor, high ceiling. Gabriel Davis has such a high ceiling with Josh Allen at quarterback. In that Buffalo offense, this is just lining up perfect. The fact that that is my third receiver, Gabriel Davis, couldn't be more thrilled about that. So it's Marquise Brown or Gabriel Davis. Sorry. One of them is going to hit this season. Mark my words, like hit big. Not just like, oh, he's good. Oh, wow, this guy is a must start. Like, this is the next Cooper Kupp. You're getting him in the 4th, 5th round range. That's where I got Cooper Kupp last season. And yeah, with receivers, I don't know. I have a pretty good eye for certain receivers. I'm not perfect, but I do have a good eye for them. Also, I'm just going to say it. I know all the hype's on George Pickens in Pittsburgh. Keep your eyes on Chase Claypool, my friends. Keep your eyes on Chase Claypool. Alright, he's someone worth potentially stashing later in drafts, and he's kind of flying under the radar right now. Just gonna bring it up, and that's it. We'll leave it there. So now we have 3 running backs, and we have 3 receivers. I'm thrilled with how this has turned out so far. I didn't have to reach on a tight end. I didn't have to do anything. As we see Dalton Schultz go, as we see Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray go, now we can start thinking about the quarterbacks. Okay, who's left? Okay, Jalen Hurts. He has rushing upside. He was a top 10 quarterback last year. Awesome. I wouldn't mind that. Aaron Rodgers won the MVP top 5 last year. Awesome. Russell Wilson in a much better situation. Top 15 last year. Okay. Wasn't the greatest season last year. Matthew Stafford top 6 last year. Okay. Derek Carr, average. Okay. Like, if you had to settle, Kirk Cousins, a lot better than people think sometimes. Top 12. Just saying. You can wait on that. But let's look at tight end. Who are we really in love with? TJ Hawkinson has so many other targets to share, like DJ Chark, Jameson Williams when he comes back healthy in that Lions offense, DeAndre Swift, Jared Goff and his incredible scrambling ability, right? No, I'm kidding. But you get what I'm saying. Like, the upside, I think, for Hawkinson is not what it once was. He's a very talented player, and he goes there. And hey, if there's a little run on tight ends, I don't mind right now drafting our tight end, which is probably what I'm going to do. I would consider Damian Harris here, which wouldn't be a bad pick at all whatsoever. Or we shore up our tight end instead of getting our 4th running back. Yeah, I want to shore up my tight end position. I don't need a 4th running back as desperately as I need one great tight end. I can just start the whole season. And we don't want a guy like Dawson Knox because we already have a guy like Gabriel Davis. We don't want to put our eggs in that same basket. We're going to go Dallas Goedert here. You have to think ahead and then also try to look at the bye weeks. I know this is kind of a nitpick by me. I don't want 2 running backs. Like, my first 2 running backs shouldn't have the same bye week. Because if they do, I'm guaranteed that loss. Like, there's just no way I'm winning without my first 2 or 3 first-round picks. Like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Again, we're going to keep looking at all positions here. If you wanted round 8, if you wanted to check out quarterback and what's available, I don't mind that. Russell Wilson does go off the board. Like I said, people are a little bit higher on him than some other guys. Joe Burrow here would be a mighty fine option, especially considering last season how well he did. Right, Matthew Stafford, a mighty fine option as well. I want to look at my talent, my skill position players. Steelers, Bucks, Colts, Cardinals, Eagles, Raiders, Bills. We have one of every team, so really we could try to stack. I mean, yeah, we could draft Matty Ice if we really wanted to. I don't really want to stack that pairing, and we can't do Kyler Murray. Obviously, Josh Allen's not going to be available, so we can't really do that. But what we can do is make sure we have someone else's stack. If you ever wanted to just check the other teams like this, you can. Everyone's got their quarterback, it seems like, except for that team. Only one other quarterback should be drafted, so honestly, we could wait a really long time, and we're gonna be fine. Like, I don't know. I think we would be. I don't want to take any gambles. Sometimes people get crazy. They draft 2 quarterbacks in a league like this where you only need 1. I don't know. And Trey Lance just goes. So we're gonna get quarterback here no matter what, for sure. And it's either gonna be Joe Burrow, Matthew Stafford, or Kirk Cousins. Those are the three guys that I'm most looking forward to this season out of what's left on this list. Oh my god, we could get Damien Harris. The fact that I like three quarterbacks and then I'm like, dude, we can still get like Christian Kirk or Damien Harris. I mean, why not take that chance, right? Why not in case there's okay. Do we do that? Okay, there's other quarterback. We can wait a little bit on quarterback. I'm fine with the other two guys. I really am. Practice what you preach. I'm going to change up my draft strategy. Last second. Not going to panic. I'm just going to change it. We need a receiver. Michael, Marquise, Gabriel. Leonard Fournette, Najee Harris, Josh Jacobs. I think we need the receiver or potential receiver a lot more than we need the potential running back with touchdown upside, which is what Damien Harris is at the end of the day. And then you could get Rhamondre Stevenson later anyway, so we're going to go here Christian Kirk for the Jaguars. They paid him a lot of money. Let's see if they utilize him in that offense while Trevor Lawrence takes that second-year step. You know, and I hope he does. Because I was really high on Joe Burrow. I predicted him being a great quarterback, and I hope that Trevor Lawrence has all the luck in the world as well, because the Jaguars, they deserve it. They fucking need it, man. I hope the best for a lot of people. And there you go, Joe Burrow's off the board. There's Chase Claypool as well. DeAndre Hopkins, you know, after that 6-game suspension, it's going to be a good pick. And there's Rhamondre, hope I'm pronouncing that right, Stevenson, the other running back for New England, who's a little younger, they like. And if Damien Harris gets injured, could be a really good back to have on your roster. But again, here we're just going to look at quarterbacks. I see Matthew Stafford's like the next guy up anyway, so for me this is perfect. Looking at this, Stafford has Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson, no great running game. You know, his running game's mediocre at best. He has scrambling upside, although it's limited. He's a good, talented quarterback. He's in a pass-heavy offense. I mean, how can you not fall in love with it? The fact that we get Matthew Stafford in the 9th round while everyone else reaches in the 4th for a quarterback who might actually finish below Matthew Stafford, who last season, you guys, was a top 6 quarterback and won the Super Bowl and supported the #1 receiver in fantasy football, putting up historic marks. Now he's upgraded at receiver. I think, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say about it? Matthew Stafford in the 9th is better than Kyler Murray in the 6th because of value. Kyler Murray in the 5th because of value. Even if Murray gets 30 or 40 more points than him, I got my guy 3 rounds later, which means I got receivers and running backs or an elite tight end that are producing 7 more points per week than your shitty guy who you had to wait to draft because you reached for a quarterback. That's why you don't draft quarterbacks early, because you have to reach for the more needy positions like running back. You know, you want to try to get those early. I haven't even been looking at the board. Hold on. Sorry, I went on my little tangent there. Okay, we have Matthew Stafford. We have Dallas Goedert. We have receiver. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and look at running back potential here. Melvin Gordon could be interesting. You know what? We don't really have any Denver players. He was top 20 last year. If Javonte Williams gets injured as a young player, Melvin Gordon could have some upside. Also, his foot's no longer bothering him. We're going to take a little gamble on Melvin Gordon here. He'll be our 4th running back. So again, we don't need him to work out, but if he does, we have a trade piece, or, you know, we have a valuable flex play depending on which week it is. So again, once you get into these late rounds, like double-digit rounds, I'd argue, you're just looking for high upside. You're not going to find the Najee Harris, Leonard Fournette, Cooper Kupp. You're not going to find guys like that. Now we just need guys that, there we go, have high upside and can fill your roster out for depth, because most of these guys you're drafting, you're going to be dropping for waiver wire additions. You're going to be picking up different guys on the waiver wire that actually are good, that you could have drafted, but you were too stupid to, because no one could have seen it coming that this guy, right, Jahan Dotson, or fucking, I don't know, Robbie Anderson was actually going to do solid this season. And yes, Jahan Dotson's a rookie a lot of people have their eye on, but it's an example. He was the first name I saw. Okay. So let's not get butthurt about it if he's your favorite player. I went to school with that guy. Like, okay, it's all good. It's all good. Anyways, just looking at this team and the roster so far, what we've built: Matthew Stafford, Najee Harris, Leonard Fournette, Michael Pittman Jr., Marquise Brown, Dallas Goedert, Josh Jacobs, Gabriel Davis, Christian Kirk, Melvin Gordon III. Okay. So again, we have 4 running backs, 1 quarterback, 4 receivers, 1 tight end. I love that depth. We have a lot of running backs, we have a lot of receivers, we have very little quarterback, tight end, but we have elite ones, we have really good ones. So again, we're gonna focus on this. I'm just gonna go with a high upside receiver here, and that's either gonna be DJ Chark, because I like the potential of him when he's healthy, and I like the connection I'm seeing with him and Jared Goff early on so far, because this is being recorded on the 18th of August, so I don't know everything yet, of course, as no one does this early into the prediction season, or Jarvis Landry. So I'm going to go DJ Chark here. That's just my personal preference, but again, those were the options in my head, and that's just what I went with. This is filling out our bench. I'm not going to draft a kicker until probably around round 13, 14, or 15, and then my defense I will draft around 15 or 16. Never any earlier than that. It's not... Okay. As the defense goes in round 11, wonderful. But yeah, my strategy throughout the course of the fantasy season is to stream my defenses. So I stream each and every week. I'm dropping a defense every single week, pretty much. As my nose won't stop clicking right now, my god. Oh. Of course, first face cam video, and I'm starting to feel like stuffed up and clicky and clacky and like shit. Wonderful. Oh, Jarvis Landry. Okay. But again, especially once you're later in the draft, just stay on the all position search. We have enough receivers, we have enough running backs, we're good on everything. Let's just see what is available and why, right? And like, if you don't know what to do, you could reach and just take your kicker now. I wouldn't hate it, to be honest. Like we still have what, Justin Tucker? Yeah, I mean you can get Justin Tucker right off the bat. Personally, I'm actually really high on Daniel Carlson this year, because what I look at for kickers is how many 50+ attempts and what percentage were made, and he made a lot of his 40 to 50+ers. And then same with Chris Boswell. Look at this, 8 out of 9, 11 out of 13. So I right here would actually go Daniel Carlson. That's how I judge my kickers. I don't worry about stadium. I worry about accuracy and amount of attempts they're going to have or did have, because that tells me. And then I obviously take into account, because you can't go based off of last year just alone. You take into account, okay, what changes happened to the Raiders offense? They gained an elite receiver. They got Darren Waller back healthy. Josh Jacobs is healthy-ish, questionable, whatever. I think did they get a new coach this season, or was that last season? I don't remember. I think they have Josh McDaniels? Tom Brady's old OC, right? The Patriots OC? Something like that. Anyways, we know that he knows how to be efficient, although he's a bit of a flake and a piece of shit. He can be efficient with his pieces, and that's why a guy like Josh Jacobs has some value this year, because he's going to be that Damian Harris type role, in my opinion at least. And he was top 12 last season, right? Even with all the things he went through. Okay, forget that. I thought it was going to open up his thing. Right, he missed a few games, but that's kind of natural for him. He only missed 2. He's a safe floor running back. That's what Josh Jacobs is. It's what he's going to be. But I think he has more upside this season because the Raiders are better and the division is more shootout potential, if you will. There's so much talent everywhere. If we really wanted to, we could get a backup QB. I just don't recommend drafting more than one quarterback. I think one quarterback is enough unless you're getting a guy like, suspended Watson, then draft 2. But other than that, never. We could get a backup tight end. I think I'll do that just to show you guys, like, okay, people are high on Albert O. What? Melvin Gordon? Okay, that's our other Denver player. We'll put 2 eggs in the Denver basket. It might pan out, it might not. What if Dallas Goedert doesn't work? What if he gets injured, right? Again, it's just, we're probably going to drop one of them in the waivers, but sometimes it's worth getting the 2 tight ends like that, because sometimes your guys, your studs, right, they don't work out perfectly, and you have to have a contingency plan in place. If you don't, your team will fall by the wayside and you will lose. That's just how it's going to happen. Again, so I'm going to stay true to what I said. I'm not going to draft a defense till the last round and show you guys you can still get a good defense in the last round, because everyone waits till the last round. And there's 32 defenses and there's only 12 teams in this league, and you're going to get a top 13 defense, worst case scenario, and then you can just drop them for a defense that plays better later. We could get the Steelers now, but let's just look at running back. What do we see? Marlon Mack, maybe. Right? Maybe. Okay. Receiver. Okay, we know Devontae Parker has the potential to be New England's #1 receiver, and I love drafting #1 receivers in fantasy football because they're the ones that have the most upside. Now, I'm not saying Devontae Parker's going to be a stud this season or a super great pick. We're probably going to drop him, but he has potential to do a few good things. And I don't think we have any New England players currently on the roster. Yeah, we don't. So again, that's a double positive. He's a potential bye week fill-in. You know, there's things like that you have to keep in mind. And then we have 2 more picks left. So with this pick, if I was going to draft like a backup quarterback, which we could, I think a guy people are sleeping on a lot this season is Ryan Tannehill. He was top 12 last season. I know people are low on him because of the playoff game. It wasn't really his fault, just because of that. Only one of the interceptions was. One was justified, the other was completely on the play calling, and then no wait. One was on the receiver, one was on play calling, one was on him. So he had a bad game, but so did everyone. It was the championship against the team that almost won the Super Bowl. Not going to hold it against him too much. And then look at his stats last season. 21 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, but 7 rushing touchdowns, you guys. He has so much rushing upside. People just forget about it. Is James healthy, by the way? What the fuck's going on with him? Won't play in the preseason. Okay, let's draft Ryan Godehill. There's Ryan Godehill, and then we're obviously just going to go to defense the last thing. And look at that. We have the Patriots and the Bengals and the Eagles and the Rams defenses still on the board if I really want, and any of them. Now, if you ask me, the best week 1 defense, I don't know who they're playing. I think Bengals play Steelers, but I'm high on the Steelers this year. I think people are sleeping on them. I would go with probably the Patriots just because you know Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick. He's going to do some great things. But if they're playing the Dolphins always have the numbers. They have so many offensive pieces. I would go Patriots, Bengals, or Eagles here. Just depends on personal preference. So for me personally, I'm going to go Patriots. Doesn't really matter. You're going to be streaming defenses if you use my strategy. So, and then you're done. All positions: Deshaun Watson, Jake Elliott, Daniel Jones, Christian Watson, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Cedric Wilson Jr. So let's go ahead and review our team very quickly here because I know you guys are kind of bored already. You're off the video, which is totally fine. I just wanted to do a fantasy football video because I've never done one, and it was just kind of exciting. It was just in my soul, and I went for it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really do. We start off the draft. We go with Najee Harris. You guys thought maybe a bit of a reach. Maybe you should have went Derrick Henry. I think PPR league. I think reception upside. I'm higher on the Steelers than most people this year. Leonard Fournette. Reception upside, touchdown upside, no. Rob Gronkowski. Tom Brady, a quarterback, loves tucking down on running backs, especially ones he trusts. Fournette, a veteran. Fournette's experience with Brady, chemistry with Brady. Love those 2 picks. Michael Pittman Jr., Josh Jacobs. Michael Pittman, #1 receiver on his team, upgraded quarterback, great offensive line. Do I need to say more? No. Josh Jacobs, safe floor. He's our flex running back, our 3rd running back. He has potential upside this season. Yeah, great pick. Okay, moving down the list. Marquise Brown. First 6 games, going to be a receiver 1 low end, receiver 2 up end, and then probably a mid receiver 2. His chemistry with Kyler Murray will still be there, but they have DeAndre Hopkins as well. So keep that in mind. Okay, Gabriel Davis, so much potential roof here. His ceiling is like up here. His floor is like all the way down here. Not the greatest thing in the world to think about, but he is a gamble. He is our 3rd receiver, and we don't need him to be consistent #1. That's Michael Pittman's job. Marquise Brown is our consistent #2. Gabriel Davis is our potential Cooper Kupp this season, in my opinion. Okay, Dallas Goedert. Just a top 10 tight end. Drafted him. Jalen Hurts at the quarterback position. Some touchdown upside with Goedert in that offense. I liked it. I figured the Eagles have a pretty easy schedule as well, and Jalen Hurts is taking a step up as a passer, in my opinion. Maybe not an elite thrower of the football quite yet, but he's getting better, and that's important. And then, so we went with him. Christian Kirk, Trevor Lawrence getting better, hopefully. Consistency at head coach, more calmness there. There's not all this craziness happening, right? It's not pandemonium, right? Christian Kirk, they paid him a lot of money. They're going to utilize him in the offense, or else someone's getting fired, right? So, because you don't pay a guy that much money and not use him. It just doesn't make sense, right? It's why Carson Wentz is starting over Taylor Heineke. You paid him all this money. Even if Heineke outperforms him, I paid you $28 million more than I paid this guy. You're starting for my fucking team. Matthew Stafford, top 6 quarterback, so much upside. I know he's got an elbow thing right now in camp. He's going to be just fine, little stretch, you know, throw the football. All good there, in my opinion. Melvin Gordon, potential upside of the running back spot, especially if an injury happens. DJ Chark, number 1 receiver on his team that's going to be trailing and losing most games. Daniel Carlson, debatably the best kicker in the NFL other than Justin Tucker. Very accurate, gets a lot of opportunities to kick from far away, doesn't miss them very much. Patriots defense, we're just going to get this out of the way. Why not? Bill Belichick, defensive mind, some playmakers on that defense, and then, you know, they get the Jets twice a year. It's not the worst thing in the world to think about. Just don't play them when they play the Bills or Dolphins, right? Especially if they're at Miami. Oof. Okay, Albert O, backup tight end, a lot of upside with Russell Wilson at quarterback, right? Huge upgrade for him. And Noah Fant's out of town. He's the number 1 tight end most likely. Very good. We love that. We love our starters who get more snap percentage on the field, because if they get more snap percentage, they can potentially have more target share. If they have more target share, they can have more receptions, more yards, more touchdowns, more fantasy points for your team, my team, our team, whatever. Devontae Parker, number 1 receiver most likely, as long as he stays healthy. Huge injury issues. He can have breakout games. More of a flex guy, more of a drop for the waivers. Ryan Godahill back at quarterback. Stafford's elbow doesn't heal up. Godahill has rushing upside. He was a top 12 quarterback last year, and they upgraded at tight end, in my opinion. And they got rid of Julio, they got rid of A.J. Brown, but they have Treylon Burks, they drafted him, and they have Robert Woods, who's a very underrated receiver too, who could be a receiver 1 as long as he's not playing with Cooper Kupp, because that guy is a masterpiece. Anyways, that is our team. That is the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys after we all win our fantasy football championships. Peace out. I don't know how to do this with face cam. It's like a broke. No, we're not gonna steal from other people. It's all good. It's all good. Slightly feminine high five. Okay. Boom. Wasn't bad. I think I'm gonna enjoy this whole you know, drafting, playing videos and recording videos of the face cam. As long as my confidence doesn't get shattered, it's all good. Okay, let's see here.